Ignite, sparked by BBB, where conversations are taking place to change the future.
Hello everybody, welcome back to BBB Sharing. Today I have Juan with F&S Ruiz Construction, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and we also have a little guy over here, Mason.
Little Mason.
Hey Mason.
Say hi, little Mason.
Hi.
So tell me a little bit, what do you guys do?
Okay, so we're a masonry and concrete company. We're based out of Richmond. So we work around the surrounding areas. And we've been in business for 10 years now. And we're expanding a little bit. We're actually going further to or Charlottesville now, I think we're heading towards
Charlottesville?
that. Yeah.
Okay. How is it? When did you start this company?
In 2014.
2014? Okay. And I want to just kind of know your thought process and just kind of your timeline. When you started, what challenges did you kind of have to overcome, and what was it like to open up a business?
Well, it was tough at first. I was 21 years old when I started the business. When I got out of high school, I was working in my uncle's construction masonry company, and I worked there for about 3 years, learned the trade, and then decided to branch out and started doing our own thing. So my dad worked in my uncle's company for, I think, maybe good 15 plus years.
Okay.
From there, we decided to do our own thing, and now it's been 10 years. Some of the challenges that we had at first was just getting yourself out there. I think it's more nowadays, there's more marketing and, social media. I think that had to do a lot to do with also us expanding a little bit. After the 5th year, we started kind of advertising, putting ourselves out there, and just getting those good connections. It's just the challenges is first getting to know those right general contractors that are gonna give you leads and give you good jobs in order to get the business to grow.
Yeah. Okay. When someone comes to you for a job, what are the things or the variables kind of going on in your head that to let the audience know what they might want for you, heads up, up front?
So when somebody comes for me for a job, I pretty much, we get all their information. We always make sure that the client is aware of our specialty and what we can offer them. I think our main thing in the business is attention to detail for clients and their needs. So that's what we kind of specialize. One of our core values is customer service, giving the client very good customer service.
Okay, nice. And you guys grew up in the Richmond area, or?
I grew up in Mexico, and I came here when I was 5 years old. But we lived in San Diego, California, and then from there, my uncle started his company and brought my dad over from California, and we came here. I think around 2021 or so.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting. How many?
No, sorry, 2001. Sorry.
2001?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
How, when you're going through getting, your employees, what do you look for in an employee?
Well, when we hire an employee, we always make sure they have good values and they have a good background. We don't really, I would say, look into any of their past or anything. We just make sure they meet good standards and they're qualified individuals.
Yeah. If they can do the work,
Yep.
then it's not a problem. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have and you said you worked in the family business, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I have my family and we had a family business. We had a bakery, or we have a bakery.
Right.
It's really fun. I really enjoy it. So
Yeah. It's awesome working with family, but there could be challenges too.
Oh, for sure. There's always one thing, or it's something you didn't do the next day, where you're just you're just talking about it and you're like, okay. But I think there's a lot more connection though at the end of the day too. Like, and your family's reliable at the end of the day. You know it's gonna get done.
Yeah, it'll eventually get done.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
No, I mean, when it comes to the business, because you are recently accredited, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, this is an amazing stepping point for you. I'd like to know a little bit about, where you guys are headed, just in the future.
Well, we're looking to expand. Like I said, we're currently working for some general contractors that are up in the Louisa, like Charlottesville area. And then we'll also have another meeting coming up soon with another contractor from Virginia Beach. So we're really local into the Richmond and Chesterfield. You have down the city, Churchill and all those areas.
Mhm.
So Powhatan, Ashland. But we might expand a little further out, and just that's what we're looking for in the future.
Awesome.
Just always having to look further out, that's the goal.
It's always good because if you have a good set plan of where you're going, as long as you might not be able to plan for the hiccups, but at least you're going to have room to kind of work that in.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's always really important for that.
Yeah.
I would say, I just want to know a little bit more about when it comes to what you do. You said masonry work. What are some kind of things that kind of go into that?
Okay, so we work for some custom builders as well. So when they come to us, they have a plan already, and we pretty much come in there and we do their concrete footers, which is the excavating of the footing, and we pour the concrete either with a pump truck or just with machines. After that, we do the masonry foundation, which is the block and the brickwork, and after that, so we offer also some of the grading and just getting everything ready for the next step, which is the framing and all that. But we don't do any of the rest of those trades. We have the general contractor or the builder has that. Subcontractors that do the rest of that work. We pretty much do the groundwork, which gets them ready for for the house, for all the framing and all the rest of the trades to come in. So we're pretty much before the site guys that come and do the clearing. We're pretty much like one of the first people at the job site. Sometimes we're like the first ones there with the excavating and getting ready for that foundation.
Okay, so you guys go through the contractors themselves, like they ask you to come in and work for, it's not the residents that called you specifically as a contractor.
We work for general contractors and custom builders, but we also work for I would say like homeowners, which there's some homeowners that are building their own homes, and they also come directly to us. So we have a variety of clients, which is sometimes a general contractor, a custom builder, and you have also a homeowner. So we work for all three.
Okay. What's the one project that you had that kind of stood out for you?
There's just been so many.
Yeah.
In the past 10 years, there's been so many. I think every day you learn something new. Every day there's always a challenge, there's in construction, growing up when I was, in middle school, my dad would take me to my uncle's job sites and stuff, and you would learn, through the process, and I feel like you never stop learning, whether it's like the actual trade of doing the work, but then also the challenges when it comes to administrating the work, and now I'm a little bit less hands-on as I used to be. I used to, have a crew and run the crew and actually be physically on site doing the work. Now it's more about the managing your crews, managing your guys, your client, the clients and your office, and those are the challenges that I think kind of stand out a little bit.
Yeah. What are some of the challenges that you were able to overcome when it comes to managing? Because I know my dad just started getting beaten down, and it's not even like, from a perspective of, you gotta understand that you've got so many hats to wear.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, for sure.
And people just don't understand that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No. As a business owner, you wear many hats. It's always something. Like I said, every day is a challenge, and in order to overcome it, you have to have a good team. And I'm very fortunate. My wife helps me with a lot of the management. She's our operations manager in the company now. And then I actually have my sisters on board now as well. They're customer service and accounts managing. So they're helping me with that side of the business. And, we're also learning to work together as a team, even though we're family. Like I said, it's, like family, eventually it'll get done. And there's always those hiccups there, but I think besides that, it makes us a good, strong business because we're very family oriented. Yep.
Okay, so how can people get in contact with you?
They can reach out to us through our social media. We're actually recently starting to post now a lot more on Facebook. We have now an Instagram. We have our website, or you can just reach out to me, my cell phone, and I just shoot over the information to our customer service, and then they'll get in touch with the client, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, how can people get in contact with you? Like, what's the number?
It's 804-929-9931.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else that you wanted to say to the people listening?
No, that's pretty much it. If you guys have any needs of any masonry, concrete work, you could always give us a call. We're here to help you guys in any of those needs.
Okay. Well, everybody listening, thank you guys for joining. Thank you, Juan, for coming in.
Thank you so
And
much.
Mason. Hey, Mason.
Little Mason.
Thank you, Mason. Bye. You guys have a good rest of your day.
Okay,
Make sure to follow us.
Appreciate it.
Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Spotify, all of that. You guys enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Ignite, sparked by BBB, where conversations are taking place to change the future.